Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of Dwayne Allen Guitar Concepts. We're going to talk today, another lesson in the intermediate category. I just did one today as well, that's why I have the same Zappa shirt on. Sometimes I knock 2 or 3 out on the same day just to get them out of the way. Another lesson in the intermediate category. I want to talk about building up chord vocabulary, okay? This is probably geared more towards jazz guitarists. Building up a chord vocabulary in guitar is always challenging for everybody because it's overwhelming. You buy a chord book and there's 10,000 chords and how do I know which ones to learn and this and that. And it's different because rock guitar players usually play maybe different chord voicings and types of chords than jazz players do. I always feel like the best way to learn all kinds of cool rock voicings is just learn lots of great songs. Like if you learn a bunch of Zeppelin and Hendrix, you're going to be set. But getting into jazz. So in jazz, it's we're kind of lucky because there's actually a system of learning chords. There's a lot of different ways of learning chords and there's a lot more than what I'm giving you. But there's a system that we call drop 2 and drop 3 chords. I'm not going to get into why they're called drop 2 and drop 3. And by the way, this is a concept that every jazz guitar player knows. I did not invent this. I actually knew these chords under a different name when I was younger, and someone asked me, do you know your drop 2 and drop 3 chords? And I was like, what's that? And then they showed them to me, and I was like, oh yeah, I know all those. My teacher just didn't call them those. So don't worry about what those mean. You can look it up, and I guarantee you'll find 100 other videos on drop 2 and drop 3 chords. I want to show you how I teach my students these same chords. So basically, it's a system where you're dividing the guitar into 3 sets of strings. The high 4 strings, the middle 4, and the low 4. And then there's more than that, but we're going to just go with that for right now. So when you take, say like a C dominant 7 chord, let's say if I take this one form here, right? What we're going to be doing is learning different inversions of that same chord in C. So as if any of you know theory, 1, 3, 5, flat 7 of the C major scale is a C dominant 7 chord. So this is a voicing of a C7 chord, okay? I'm going to teach you one voicing at a time. I'm not going to go, we'll see if we can get this in one video, but I want to show you the concept though. The concept is actually more important than actually just learning all these chord forms. So the concept, I think I'm going to talk about the concept and then I'll just show you a bunch of forms because it's the same concept for all the chords. So this C7 chord right here, okay, this is an inversion because it's not going 1, 3, 5, flat 7. This particular chord is going 3, flat 7, 1, 5, okay? So that's the first chord inversion of C7 we're going to learn, okay? Now I want to show you what you should do with each of these, and I'm going to show you each form, but I want you to do the same thing with each form that I teach you, okay? You can make this C7 chord many other things, okay? And I did a little bit of this in another video, but I'm going to review it. So if it's 3, flat 7, 1, 5, if you want to make it a C major 7, you take the 7th tone, which is this one, you raise it a half step, and now it becomes a major 7 like this. Okay, so C major 7, C dominant 7. If you want to make it a C minor 7, you take the 3rd, which is this note here, and you lower it a half step. Now it becomes a C minor 7. Okay, so here's what you do with each one of these chords I'm going to teach you. You need to know the voicing of each chord. Where's the root, where's the 3rd, where's the 5th, where's the 7th? That way you can turn it into a minor 7 or a major 7 or a dominant, right? So you take this one form and you move it around in every key. Key of F, key of B flat, right? So C dominant, major, dominant, minor. Key of F, dominant, major, dominant, minor. Key of B flat, dominant, major, dominant, minor. Take it every key, right? That's what you want to do with every chord that I'm going to show you here today, okay? Here's the next form. Here's another C7. This one goes 5, 1, 3, flat 7. So you can rewind all of these to write these down if you want to take notes. So 5, 1, 3, flat 7. So you want to make it a major major 7, you do this. Raise the 7th a half step. Dominant 7, lower the 3rd a half step. Okay, you take that around in every key. F, major 7, F dominant, F minor 7, B flat dominant, B flat major 7, B flat dominant, B flat minor 7. You move it all around different keys. Got the idea? We want to do that with each of these chords. Here's the next form. C dominant 7, flat 7, 3rd, 5th, root. Major 7, dominant, minor 7. Move it around in different keys. Got it? See, the next one is this one. 10th fret, okay? Root, 5th, flat 7, 3rd. Make it a major 7. Back to dominant. Lower the 3rd. Take it around every key. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, this is how you memorize the chords. So now we have C7 like this. Got that? Okay. Now let's learn the middle 4 strings. This is C7 right here. Okay. Root, 5th, flat 7, 3rd. You want to make it a major 7, raise the 7th. Go back to a dominant. Take the 3rd, lower to half step. Take it every key. F major, F dominant, F major, F minor 7, B flat major, B flat dominant, B flat major, B flat minor. All move it all around, okay? Next form in the middle 4 strings. This one's kind of a stretch. 3rd, flat 7, root, 5th, okay? Major 7, nice pretty stretch. Dominant 7, minor 7. It's cool voicing, right? Okay, next form. 5th, root, 3rd, flat 7. Okay, major 7, kind of a stretch. Dominant 7, minor 7. Every key, got it? Next one. Flat 7, 3rd, 5th, root. Okay, major 7. Back to dominant 7. Take the 3rd, lower half step, minor 7. Got that? Every key. So you have this. Okay, 1 set to go. Low 4 strings. These you won't use as much because they're in the lower register and they could get kind of muddy. So I would really focus on the first 4 strings and the middle 4 strings. The low 4 you should know anyway just to be thorough, and if you're playing solo guitar you play it, but if you're with a group it's a little bit too low and muddy. So you may not use these as much. So, C dominant 7, bring the 7th up a half step, make it a major. Go back to dominant, bring the 3rd down a half step. C minor 7. Got it? Okay. Next one. Dominant, flat 7, 3rd, 5th, root. I'm out of tune a little bit. Paul Reed Smith's never got out of tune, but this one just did. 7, 3, 5th, root. Okay. Make it a major 7. Dominant 7. Take the 3rd, lower to half step. Move it around every key, right? You got to know where the root is, obviously. Like this is the root here, right? So C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, right? Okay. Next one. Root, 5th, flat 7, 3rd. Okay. Make it a major 7. Raise the 7th a half step. Go back to dominant. Lower the 3rd a half step to make it a minor. Got that? All right, cool. Last one. Some of these are really interesting. Dominant 7, 3rd, flat 7, root, 5th. Make it a major 7. Go back to dominant. Take the 3rd, lower to half step, minor. down every key. Okay, it's a lot of chords. Okay, that's I think it's 12, right? 4 times 3, yeah. So 12 chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? It's fun moving all those chords around like that. One more thing you can do with the top 4 strings, anytime you play anything on the high E string, you could flip it down to the low E string. It's the same note. So when I'm going around, I would go like this: C dominant, C major, C minor. I would do it like that. C dominant, C major 7, C dominant, C minor. See how I'm doing that? So you can flip it. That's kind of another set. That's what they call, I think, the drop 3. So anyway, that's a lot of chords. Why do you need all these chords? Well, let's say you're comping over a tune and you have a C7. Let's say that it goes C7 for a while. If you don't know a lot of chords, you're going to do this. Boring, dude. Move it around a little bit. Don't be too busy, but you can move around. Way more interesting. You're moving the voicings around, kind of like how a piano player would do it, right? You could do it in any of the chords. If you had a C major 7 going for a while. Pretty cool, right? You can, moving all those voicings around, it gives you a lot more variety, so you're not stuck on one chord the whole time. And the funny thing is these are only 7th chords. We haven't even gotten into using 13ths and 9ths and all that. So you got to learn those too. But I would learn these. You want to be able to know all your 7ths, because actually you can make any of these chords a 9th or a 13th. We'll get into that some other time. But another thing that you can do with this stuff is when you're doing a solo, you can kind of do chord soloing, which is what Wes Montgomery would do with these. But he played more interesting chords like 13ths and 9ths. But the concept is the same. So like if he's soloing over a C7 chord, right? He'll play his line. Right? He'll do all that kind of stuff. But then he'll play chord melodies. Right? I'm playing all those chords. And really, if you think about it, when you're playing chord soloing like this, the top note is kind of a melody. So what a lot of guys will do is they'll play these chords and then they'll kind of connect them with notes in between. So they might go... See what I'm doing? I'm playing the chord and then some connecting notes in between. It really just opens up a whole world of things for you. The other thing that you got to know with these chords is if you know all these, it's going to make it possible to be able to do a chord melody of a song. Chord melody is when you play the melody and the chords at the same time. I actually want to do a lesson on learning chord melodies and learning how to do it. But these chords, I really believe you need to learn these first before you can start making it, building chord melodies and making it easy to do. So like a song like All the Things You Are. I'm playing very simple, but I'm using the chords that I just taught you. See what I'm doing? If you know all these chords, it's going to make it a lot easier to learn how to build chord melodies, okay? The other big thing with being able to do this, like how you're taking each chord and you're making it a major, making it a minor, making it a dominant, you're learning harmony. Harmony is all about understanding what the voices are in each chord. That's huge. If you know how to do that, you can make up endless chords. You can go on forever. We're not even scratching the surface. We're just learning 7ths, okay? So I just showed you a lot of chords today. Is this something that you can learn in a week or two? No, this is a big assignment. I've given you a lot of lessons on my channel where it's like, here's something, now it might take you a year to work on it, okay? That's okay, go slow. Learn the first set. That might take you a month to get these down, major, minor, dominant, right? Every key all over the place, right? Practice all of them in one key at a time, maybe like that. Like in the beginning, I said take each chord around in different keys. Definitely do that. Then after you do that, do it in one key. I just did all of them in C. Do them all in F. Do them all in B flat. B flat. You get the idea? If you can do that, you're really gonna understand the guitar and the harmony much, much more, okay? If you get this concept down really good, you can even go further with it. I don't want to get too advanced with this, but like you can have a raised or a lowered fifth on all these chords. You can do a dominant 7, there's that C7, here's the 5th, make it a sharp 5, regular C7, flat 5, right? And then you can do it with a major 7, sharp 5, beautiful voicing, major 7, flat 5, minor 7, sharp 5, minor 7, flat 5, half diminished. You need to learn those. So, heavy duty stuff, right? So you can do that with any of these chords. So take your time. It might take you a month to learn this set. It might take you a month to learn this set. Major, minor, dominant. Maybe you can do the sharp 5s and flat 5s if you feel up to it. Learn this set. If it takes you 3 months to learn all this, who cares? After 3 months, you know a hell of a lot of chords. That's pretty awesome, right? So this is my lesson on really building up your jazz chord vocabulary. Like I said, we didn't even get into 9ths and 13ths, but you really need to learn all your 7ths because the 7ths are the building blocks of the 9ths and 13ths. If you know your 7ths, then adding a 9th or 13th is really not that hard, okay? So learn this set, and it's going to really help you when we start learning how to build chord melodies, okay? If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Hit the subscribe button if you like the lesson. Leave the questions or comments below. If you like what I'm teaching, I would love to work with you one-on-one. Like I always say, you can really only learn so much out of videos. I can't listen to you from YouTube. I can't tell you you're doing this right or wrong. I can't listen to you perform and go, oh, maybe you should do this or that. YouTube is very limited. So if you want lessons, I'm happy to do it. Contact me. I do it through Facebook and Zoom. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. Have fun. See you soon. Bye-bye.